Hello, fellow trader. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, November the 19th. The year is 2021. Let's talk trading. It is time for the weekly wrap up. This video is for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So let's go right to the weekly chart here for the pound, and we notice that all the gaps have filled. The pound's 38 pips above the open, the weekly open. 65 off the high and 53 off the low. So you can see here, we've had a compressed week, and this week, unless something big happens in the next, 3 hours or so, we're going to have an inside bar on the week. For the day, you can see we put in the opening range on Monday. We came all the way back down to the weekly open and then bounced. And we're still below the monthly open and the yearly open. So for you horizontal line traders, especially those traders who can't sit in their screens all day, taking this opening range breakout, you can see here it was worth a few pips. Yeah, there was a couple on these days you may have lost, but then you get it back. And some traders also like to trade coming into this area. But I guess if they do that, they probably would be looking at when the price failed to make a new high. So you have a lower high, higher high, lower high, and then it starts to cut in. You start shorting in that wick zone, and then you see what happens. Of course, it could go the other way, and that happens sometimes. We are 195 pips below the yearly open at the moment, 236 below the monthly open, and 36 above the weekly open. We actually broke out of the inside bar on the month here at 34.33 today. And the last weekly inside bar was 6 weeks ago. But as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a new one. So this bar will be highlighted. It'll be interesting to see what happens when that happens. And you can see here we had some inside bar action, not a lot. I would imagine next week we'll probably have a lot more. For the range today, 102 on the pound. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pairs over 100 pips with euro yen clocking in at a 201. And once again, this is interesting. The pound dollar has a range higher than the pound New Zealand dollar. The new beast, I guess, is taking the day off. And you can see on this chart, we broke out of that daily low. We broke out of the upper wick zone. We crossed below the daily open. And now for the week, just remember today's open was the highest daily open for the week. So once again, those of you who can't trade in front of your screen, these are kind of trades you can put in place. Go, hey, this is the highest daily open. Maybe it'll reverse. Speaking of reversing, you can see here we cut across that weekly open, tried to test it a couple times, moved up, and now we are moved back down. You can see we're oscillating right around the pivot. But yesterday's pivot was missed but got taken out. And we'll see that coming up. Green rats. Actually, you could call me a Yale student today because I took some shorts up here and I took some longs down here. Just once again trading the rat zone. And one thing usually about the rat zone, you're usually going to be going against the daily bias. So green rat. So in the daily bias is simply the daily candle color. Okay, pivot trading plan. It said near R1 short, and that was right on. It said near S1 long, not so much. And as mentioned earlier, we took out the pivot here. A couple days ago, we took out that missed pivot. So we only have one missed pivot this month. And we've got 6 good trading days left because we have Thanksgiving next week and probably maybe only 5 good trading days. But you never know. Sometimes trading around Turkey Day, a day before, the day of, and the day after, sometimes the market moves kind of crazy because the big boys are home and the retail traders are having at it. Wick zone, in and out of the upper wick zone, in and out of the lower, and in and out of the lower again. So trading yesterday's low, just going short there, paid off really nice. And there was a couple other times here, just taking that, and here taking that once again. The range for the week, only 118 pips, 0 percentile. Not much range, so expect to see something give next week, I would imagine. Then again, it is a holiday week, so it just might produce another inside bar. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. High minus previous high, didn't break it, so minus 94. Didn't break the previous low, so minus 43. Once again, inside bar characteristics. Off the high for the rats. If you traded the rat zone, the highest rat zone for the week, you reward it with about 64 pips at the moment. If you traded the lower rat zone, 54. If you got in at the high and at the low. But once again, nice numbers there. You can see how that works. If you're trading away from the weekly open, high minus open was 102. Open minus low was only 15 pips. But as we saw earlier, there was still money to be made trading off of that weekly open. And looking at the price action chart here, that's an inside bar, that's an outside bar, that's an outside bar. So you can see here, using the Walmart lines, there was a lot of good trades there. So for example, here shorting at the 70, and then here shorting at the 50, definitely paid off. And it's not hindsight because this is something we do every day. These lines stay the same every day. All we do is do what the candles tell us to do. And part of talking about some of the indicators, I had mentioned an article that I read, that said, the simplest system, can usually beat, somebody, a human trying to outthink things in the moment. Just a simple system. So, a simple system like the Walmart or an open cross or a high-low cross, these are simple systems. There's nothing that you have to do that requires much thought. I mean, what you have to do when you're doing these trades is, as always, focus on the risk management. Don't lose more than you're willing to lose on a trade. As I mentioned yesterday, I had a trader said, "Hey, I don't have any problem pulling the trigger, but I just can't seem to. I can pull the trigger on the entry, but I just can't seem to get it right on the exit." I just said, "Just start taking 1 pip." Because I think I might have mentioned that I'm really good. I can take 20 1-pip trades, no problem. But 120 pip trade, not so much. I'm not that good. I'm just not that good. I guess I don't have the patience or the tolerance. I'd have to, put the trade on, put in a TP and a stop loss and walk away. But if I sit in front of it, I'm too prone to get in there and start to mess things up. So, risk management, put that in place. And on the flip side, the money management. You got to take that profit before the market takes it back. So once again, I'm good at getting the price to go up a pip or so for me. But if I don't take it, and price stops, for some strange reason, it just likes to come back on me. I don't know why. It just does. So I've learned just to take it, and then there'll be another trade. And at the end of the day, I'll have 20 pips. I might have 21 pip trades, but I got 20 pips. Somebody else might have a, more no fuss, no muss method. They put in one trade and they can take 40 pips or 20 pips or 200 pips, whatever they get. But that's them. It's not me. And I was reading, somebody had mentioned that forget about the method. The method's irrelevant because it's you, the trader, and you got to understand who you are. And Walmart says that a lot too, because if you don't, it's not the method. You keep trying to get profitable by changing methods and adding indicators and all that. That's going about it the wrong way. It really is. It's you, the trader, because the turtle guy proved it. He had what, 20 traders, the turtles, and they were all taught the same method. Some were successful and some weren't. It wasn't the method, it was the traders. Can you follow the rules? Can you manage your emotions? And all of those different things. Do you develop habits that are profitable or habits that are unprofitable? There's a lot of those words of wisdom out there like cut your losses, let your winners run. Yeah, that's easy to say, but okay, describe that as a procedure. That's where people fall short, because they can basically talk, but they can't make a plan. So that's why when I put things out here and when Walmart puts things out here, we put out something that's that's pretty complete, that shows what to do, when to do it, and then all you have to do is add in your own risk management, because we can't tell you what size you should trade, and we're not there when you enter the trade. We can tell you when's the best time to trade certain methods, what methods work best during certain times, what methods you should avoid, which pairs to trade. And we just sit there and just, milk the pound dollar like a cow, because, it just keeps giving milk. There's no reason to switch. But you can see here, we had a trigger here, right here at 34.41, and at the moment up 6.5. So see here, for me, if I got in this trade, I probably would have maybe exited here, or actually about right here, because it put in a two ball there, came back and then put it in again and just punched out. Just take the profit, because it could go here and so forth. I don't know the future. Don't try to know the future. But the thing is, if you did that, you'd get maybe half of the run, maybe 60% of the run. But the point is Walmart would say, hey, you got more money now than you did right before that trade, then shut up. It's just that simple. But the thing is, just focus on your method, executing it, getting the right habits, form those habits, and then take the money. And then it just basically kind of becomes a bore, because you're just doing the same thing over and over again. And hopefully you're making money, not losing. So, fellow traders, that's the end of the weekly wrap up. I hope you all had a profitable week out there, and I hope you have a fun and safe weekend. Please be safe, because especially if you're in the USA, the crazies might be out there trying to cause people trouble. And when you come back and you sit down at your trading platform the next time, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.